Assalamu alaikum. I am Aymen Arif and I am here to represent the platform of Sindh Biotechnologist Association SBA. And today the topic of our presentation is genetically modified organisms. So let's just discuss what genetically modified organisms are. Next slide. These are the organisms whose genetic material or nucleic material has been altered using different genetic engineering techniques. This could either be duplication, deletion, insertion of certain genes to check its expression on the targeted organism. Coming upon the next slide, we can see the examples of some genetically modified organisms like in bacteria E. coli, in plants alpha alpha, and in fishes salmon fish are already genetically modified. Why people do genetic modification is because of its great applications. Here you can see the glowfish and web spinning goat. Glowfishes are genetically modified because of its fluorescence producing properties. Similarly, the web spinning goat can spine web. So this must be genetically modified or crossbreed with a spider. Now let's discuss its advantages. The main advantages of genetic modifications are quality of food or organism. Like it can increase its taste, enhance its taste quality in terms of crop yield or maturation time can be increased or reduced via genetic modifications. Bioremediation is also the mainstream focus of genetic modifications. Disease resistance, genetically modified organism can be resistant to certain genes. For example, if we talk about genetic diseases in humans, cystic fibrosis and hemophilia are being considered for genetic modification in animals. Food security is also the main focus because the increased food security in growing population can be done using genetic modifications. So how GMOs are produced? These can be produced by three main steps. This is very interesting to know that anybody can produce GMO by knowing its technique. The first and foremost step is to identify the trait of interest, the gene of interest which you want to alter. You have to identify that, but keeping the environmental impact of that gene in your mind. Then the next step is to isolate the genetic trait of interest. This can be done by different molecular techniques such as sequencing, DNA automatic and manual nucleic acid extractions, and then you have to compare it with the similar with the similar genome having that particular gene expressed or unexpressed. The third step is the insertion of the desired trait into the new genome. This can be done through different techniques such as gene gun technology, transformation, transduction, etc. When I say gene gun technology, it basically involves the metal particle coated DNA and it is bombarded into the targeted site of that organism. How it can be done? The gene is first cut from the organism in which that particular gene is present, then it is incorporated into the plasmid or any vector, then it's incorporated or introduced into the host organism, and then its expression is checked. The last step is growing the GMO. We have to carefully check the growth of the particular GMO because of its uncontrolled and unwanted impact or effects on the environment. So let's come upon the next slide. Transgenic plants. Transgenic plants are those plants whose genetic material has been modified by using recombinant DNA technology. This is done to introduce new characteristics or properties such as the size, length, color of plant or animal. Genetically modified crops are plants that are used in agriculture, the DNA of which has been modified using genetic engineering methods. In most cases, the aim is to introduce a new trait into the plant which doesn't occur naturally in the species. Why people want to genetically modify an organism is because of its ability to produce different variants into the environment or ecosystem. Transgenic animals. Mice are the most widely used transgenic animal. They are used or are in consideration because they are the most widely used animal models to detect the gene expression of certain drugs or vaccines. Knockout gene technology can be used for similar purpose, or we can check the overexpression of certain gene. Knockout gene technology is basically the shutting down of particular gene into an organism and then checking out its effect on that organism. The process of genetically engineering animals is a slow, tedious, and expensive process because it requires a lot of expertise. So it can't be cost effective. However, new technologies are making genetic modifications easier and more precise. The automation and the knowledge or introduction of our generation to the molecular techniques and to the world of genomics is making it easier. Similarly, genetically modified bacteria are used to produce a well-known product known as insulin. This is used to treat diabetes. However, factors like clotting factor 8 and growth hormones are also produced by using genetic modification or genetic engineering to treat hemophilia or dwarfism. Dolly sheep was the first cloned genetically modified animal, and this has been done by using gene transfer technology. GM fishes are being considered for use as food and as aquatic pollution sensors. They are potential models for fish farming and aquaculturing. This is also introduced so that the so that our particular food chain will not get affected. For example, zebra fishes and Medeca are previously genetically modified. The glowfish is a patented brand of genetically modified zebrafish which can produce bright red, green, and orange fluorescence. There are many applications of genetic modification, among which animal modeling, industrial or commercial production of consumer products, treating different diseases like gene therapy, and for improving the quality or quantity of a crop, like its yield, nutritional component, or adding disease resistance to a certain plant or animal can be done using genetic modifications. Here is the list of the benefits of GMOs and the risk of GMOs. First, we discuss its benefits. Nutritional value of food can be improved by using genetic modification techniques. Like we can introduce some vitamins or proteins into an organism, into the organism in which we want it. Crops can produce uh, the allergens, but we can shut it down, or we can avoid some allergens by using genetic modifications. And the rest we have discussed it earlier. So we can also reduce the economic cost and carbon footprint by using genetic modification, by using the technique of bioremediation. Bioremediation can be used to clean the large scale spills. Now, the risks of GMOs. As the new traits are introduced, so there must be some adverse health effects, some allergenicity. People think that if oncogenes are incorporated, then the cancer can be regulated. The cancer genes can be regulated too. Removal of traits could have unknown effects. Cross pollination could lead to superweed, and all this need or require proper regularity checks or standards to be consumed by the consumers. Here are the questions or concerns of people regarding GMOs. People usually ask that are the genetically modified plants or animals are safe to grow? Is the process natural? Are farmers using this technology to increase their consumer demand? Is this ethically, morally, socially, or religiously possible or correct? Food made from transgenic plants, animals are safe to eat? Are growing transgenic plants safe for the environment? All these answers lie in the proper use of this technology. If we mishandle the information or exploit this technology, one can have such drastic effects on the environment which we can't undo. You can see it in the case of coronavirus as well. People are mishandling it and thus increasing its spread. These are the names of some companies which are dealing with the genetically modified organism and the products related to genetically modified genomes. Some great names are Monsanto, Syngenta, Bayer, DuPont, Dow, etc. I hope that you all are able to get this information of genetically modified organism from this presentation, and this is just an overview of genetically modified organism in a nutshell, that what GMO are, how can they be produced, what are their effects on the environment, and what is the public opinion of GMOs. Thank you for your time, and I would like to say that if you like this video, please Like it, share it with your friends, subscribe to this channel, which is Sindh Biotechnologist Association SBA. We really need your support, and if you have any query, please ask it in the comment section below. Thank you. Till next time, Allah Hafiz.